You yourselves know that these hands minister to my necessities and to those who were with me. In all things I have shown you that by working hard in this way, we must help the weak. And remember the words of our Lord Jesus, how he himself said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. The whole point of following Christ is not to acquire more in this world, not to get more of what we already have, but to live and to give in response to the grace and the mercy that we did nothing to deserve, but still, while we were sinners, was offered to us. I mean, help the weak, give to the need in the world. I mean, it's pretty basic. It's not too complicated, right? Give to the need, help the weak. But Jesus says it's more blessed to give than to receive. Now, that we could stay here all night. There's so much that we could stay here and talk about. But for now, let's just say, I think what needs to be said and understood here is that this word is not just needed in the church. This word is needed in the world. It's not just in what we say or what we share on social media, but in what we do. In fact, one of my favorite sayings goes, what you do is so loud, I can't hear what you say. And need exists all around us. Not just physical needs, but spiritual and emotional needs. Think about the things that are taking place in our world. Think about the things that are taking place within our own community. Every time the news breaks or some article comes up and says that there's been another shooting, right? The conversations and questions begin, how can we stop this? And let's be clear. Time to sit around a table and talk with governments and institutions. They have their time and place, but they will never be able to legislate what the necessary things to see stuff like this come to an end. I mean, y'all, we've been asking this question for thousands of years. And for all of our advancement in the world today, right, for all that we've been able to build and all that we've been able to achieve for some reason, I mean, we just can't seem to figure out the fact that man can't fix man's problem. I mean, some of the things that we've been able to accomplish, right, some of the medical advancements and technology, man, some of those things have been great and they have been amazing. But none of those things have really found a way to do business with the heart. And that is our greatest issue. When you think about churches today, I think in a lot of ways we've become so safe that we end up cutting ourselves off from those whose needs we are called to serve. We have Christians preaching the gospel in places like Syria and underground churches in China where it is illegal. And in a decade, if it continues, China will become the largest Christian nation in the world. Surely we can take the gospel into our own communities where it is legal. I mean, the church, right, the covenant, a community of faith is meant to be a safe haven, a place for all sorts of broken people. Right? The great hope of the world, and the world that we live in, is the gospel. This word, the gospel of Jesus Christ. But see, this is something, here's what we got to understand. This is something that we have to do together. And it's time. Right? We can't ever hope to bring a community together if we ourselves aren't together. It doesn't work that way. Right? When Christ rose and the Holy Spirit fell, we were made into one body. And we were meant to remain as one body, to worship as one body, to serve the needs of others as one body. And we can talk about change all we want, but the only answer to darkness is light. And the more we're in this community together, side by side, the less things like this will happen. And if we worship the same Christ, it only makes sense to me that we do it together. Christ's light shines through us, and together that light is only brighter. And my hope in all that we are seeking to do and all that we are praying and asking God to do is that together that we might be all the more encouraged to push back what is dark in this world and live the light of Christ in our community, in our schools, and in our families. This is what we are called to do, to engage, to enter into. And so, what kind of story will our life tell? Years from now, what will be said about the time that God's given us here? Whatever that is, my prayer is that it's one where we are together. And whatever it is that we do, that the world won't do the same because of it. God bless you. Let's pray. Gracious and Almighty God, Lord, we are grateful for your word. God, for it is truth, and we are sanctified by it. Lord, there is so much as we look around going on within the world today, but you have given us the answer, a response to all of that, God, that together on the foundation of your word, guided by your Holy Spirit, Lord, that we would enter into all of that. That we would live in such a way, God, that those around us might come to understand the grace that is given through Christ. Lord, where so many don't have a place or person to turn to get away from the things that are surrounding them, Lord, that we might be that place, that we might be that people. Lord, that through our faithfulness and our boldness, God, that we would live in such a way that when people see us together, Lord, that they would see a picture of Christ. Lord, when we speak and when we act, Lord, that they might hear the voice of your Son, Jesus. And so, Lord, take these things, stir them within us, Lord. Continue to bring about fruit from tonight, long beyond from just this hour. But as we leave this place after tonight and go home, God, that you would continue to move in such a way, Lord, that we would know it is you. Lord, we are your church, the body of your Son. And we simply ask, God, that you might grant us the grace to be used for big things, Lord, for the sake of the church, for the reaching of the nations, and for the glory of Christ, his name, to the ends of the earth. Amen.